What happened?
What do you mean what happened? It says you're live.
Am I live? Oh my goodness. I thought I pushed the wrong button. Well, welcome everybody to Sunday Night Live. I hope that the time change hasn't messed people up. I know that I know that some people arrived early, and it's in BC. I'm on the west coast of BC in Canada, and right now it is 4 o'clock my time, Pacific Standard. It's not yet dark out, but it'll get there. So hopefully you guys are feeling okay with that time change. So I have a couple of housekeeping things first. Uh, well, I want to welcome you for coming and spending your part of your Sunday night with me. Uh, I have two moderators here tonight with me, Bonnie and Melissa, and they will be there to keep an eye on things and to provide links when needed and that kind of thing. We also have a giveaway, and tonight's giveaway is Carnivore Crisp Beef Tallow. They call it beef butter, but it is actually grass-fed tallow. So all you have to do is put the word tallow in the comment, and you will be automatically entered. Now, if you're watching the replay, a week from now or whatever, this will already have been given away. I just want to mention that. So for those of you that are here, put the word tallow in, and we will I mail this to the winner. The winner will be announced before we leave this live stream tonight. And what was the other thing? There was last week's winner, Doris. Doris Sandgren, if you are out there, I just need your address so that I can mail you the box of element that you won. And if anyone knows her, perhaps you can let her know. Let her know that, I'm just waiting to find out where to send it to. Just need to email me with your address. So, the last two live streams, there was quite a few questions not left over. I think I got to all the questions during the live, but questions that came up later, questions and concerns and clarifications. So I thought we would just sort of do a general Q&A tonight. And I have made note of some of the areas where I wanted to, maybe do a little bit of clarification. And but first I have to own up to an error I made last week on these charts. So if you haven't seen last week's live, it was all about macros. And I had just flipped around something by mistake. So these are images that I took and assigned macros to. This is 60/40 up there in the top left. And the second one is 70/30. And then 75/25, kind of standard carnivore is somewhere between 70/30 and 75/25. And then 80/20 macros are high fat carnivore. So I had just flipped around something by mistake, and a couple of people caught it. So thank you very much for you sharp-eyed people. And I just wanted you to know you were right, and it has been corrected. Although there's no way to go back and correct a live from last week. But for those of you that came back, just wanted to thank you for pointing it out and letting you know. So that's that. We can take that down now. Thank you. Okay. The other area that came up, I had a lot of questions about the castor oil pack that I mentioned 2 live streams ago. So today I brought mine with me to show you. Hang on. It's here. So I thought maybe if I showed you what it was, then you'd know. So this is the oil that I buy. It's organic castor oil. I got it from Amazon, and I believe I have provided the links below for these. And this is the pack. So what this is, it's like a it's I don't even know how to describe it, but I'm going to show it to you. You wrap it around yourself. So I decided to get the one with the thick straps because I just thought it would be sturdier, and that's the one that I've linked below. So what you do, and there's flannel cotton inside. So I'll just show it to you guys. So what you do is in the evening, you put a tablespoon in the middle of the flannel pack. Then you use the straps to strap it around yourself. And I put it on the right-hand side, right under my rib cage. And then, wrap the straps around. And then I just relax in bed for about an hour. I've heard that sometimes people sleep with it on, but I never thought I would be able to do that. You only need an hour or so for it to kind of soak in. Like you're putting it right above your liver, so that does two things. It's like a detox. In the morning, you will very likely have a bowel movement. And during the night, you will have a very good sleep. And the mornings after I do the castor oil pack, I usually have my best sleep scores. I use my Fitbit to track my sleep. So when I first started doing it, so I was having constipation problems, in my transition from keto to carnivore, and I had heard from Kelly Hogan about the castor oil pack. And so that's when I first started to use it. I was doing it 3 or 4 nights a week, like every other night. I was doing it, and it helped. And I was also doing the lymphatic drainage, which I'll talk about as well. Now I do this just once in a while. I don't do it every other night. Because my bowel movements are completely normal now. I'm strict carnivore. I eat 0 fiber. I eat only meat. I have a bowel movement every day. And I attribute it to regulating that through using this every other night for, I did it for a few months. And also the lymphatic drainage. So that video is linked below. And all you're doing with the lymphatic drainage is you are doing some rubbing and tapping in the areas where your lymph nodes are located. The video walks you through that. It is a free intervention. I did that one every night, or not every night. I did it in the morning. I did it every morning for probably about a month. And now I only do it, maybe once a week, sort of at a maintenance level. So if anyone out there is constipated, take a look at those two things. Do them both or try one and then the other, whatever you want to do. But they were so effective for me. And so I always feel like I want to pass that on to you guys. The other thing that came up is protein. So I guess because we talked about macros last week, so a lot of people are asking me about protein because I haven't been hiding the fact that I've increased my protein and I've changed my ratios. I used to do a much higher fat carnivore, and now I've tweaked that because I want to lose the rest of the weight that I'm carrying. And so I've raised my protein and I have lowered my fat. I'm by no means doing low fat. I'm not doing protein sparing. I'm doing just a lower fat and a higher protein. I shoot for about 150 grams of protein a day. And so I had questions about how did I come up with that number? It is simply 1 gram of protein per pound of what my goal weight is. There's, it's going to vary for everybody, and there is an ideal body weight calculator that I've also put in the description of this live. So a lot of people do calculate their protein needs based on their ideal body weight. I'm way above that. So my ideal body weight, according to that calculator, is 123 pounds or something, and to like I that's fine. That would be 123 grams of protein a day. But I am choosing to go high, 150. And Alice and Kevin had been coaching me, and they encourage that. But as I've looked into it, as to why that's a good thing, the amounts that are recommended by a lot of people are amounts to maintain your muscle mass and your everyday living and all these other things. I've also linked to a video that I saw the other night. Dr. Eads, the Mr. and Mrs. I can never remember their first name, but they wrote a book called Protein Power back in the 90s, and they are still active in the community and talking about protein. That hasn't changed. That video goes through why it's so important to have protein. So I am 65 years old. I have probably already spent the last 20 years losing some of my muscle mass, and I want it back. And I'm exercising, and so I'm going for that 150 grams of protein. Just because there's an RDA amount or an amount that's recommended by calculators, that doesn't mean that you can't go higher. I have no reasons not to go a little bit higher. So that's what I'm doing. That's how that came about. The other thing that I keep getting asked this last week or so is how I can't seem to get enough protein. How do I get more protein? What can I do? So I struggled with it at first as well. And so these are the tips that I've come up with that helped me. I would measure out my protein for the day, and I would put it all on my plate, whether I thought I could eat it or not. And sometimes I could, but those first couple of weeks when I raised my protein, it was really hard. And so I would come back an hour later and try to finish what I couldn't finish in that one sitting. So that was one thing I did. The other thing I did was I kind of spread my meals out a bit more now. So OMAD doesn't work for me. I cannot eat enough in one sitting to satisfy my nutritional needs. So I tried to do it in 2 meals a day, and that helped. But it meant about 75 grams of protein in 2 sittings. So now I'm doing 3 meals a day, and that is much easier. That means about 50 grams per meal. I'm still doing a condensed eating window. So once I have dinner, which is normally around 4:30, 4:35 at the latest, I'm not eating again until 9 or 10 the next day. So, it's still a form of intermittent fasting. So that was my second tip, is to split meals up. And even if you have to eat several small meals a day to get it in, to me, there's nothing wrong with that. The other thing that I did is I put a variety of meats and proteins on my plate. So rather than a big steak, there's something about that psychologically. I can't seem to get through it. But if I have, half a steak and some shrimp and maybe some sardines or cod liver or a piece of chicken, a couple of chicken wings, like mixing up the meat on my plate, psychologically I can get past it. I can eat it. And then the other tip would be high protein but low volume foods. So for example, the thing that I always think about is I do like cans of salmon, and I go through 2 or 3 cans of salmon a week. Well, that can of salmon, here it's 213 grams. I'm not sure what that is. It's about 8 ounces can of salmon. It's small. Smallish, I guess. That is 52 grams of protein in it. Now, to get 52 grams of protein out of, like, say, a hamburger or a steak, it's a much bigger volume. And so I find that if you can find some foods that take up less room in your tummy, then that have good protein, that's a good way to go. So those are my tips about increasing protein if that's what you want to do and you're trying to do it. Now, I just want to say, after having said all that, if what you are doing is working for you, you don't need to change a thing. Many people can just go with standard carnivore, eat the meat you like, eat till you're comfortably full, and they do very well on that. If that's you, all the glory to you, and go with it. Don't change anything just because you see people on YouTube who are going high protein or who are trying different things. If what you're doing is working, continue to do it. I just have been in a stuck place for quite some time, losing little bits here and there, which is all well and good, but just really wanting to finish the job and get closer to my goal weight and even get to my goal weight. So that's what it's all about, and I'll be healthier for it. I potentially have a knee surgery coming up in a year or so if I decide to go that route. I want to make sure that there's nothing that I need to do. I just want to be as healthy as I can and at a proper weight. So those are the questions that were posed to me. I am now going to check out your questions, and please ask them. We have a few already. Okay. Deanne Lewis. Hi, Deanne. You watched the poo video. Yes, thank you for watching that. It was helpful. No one mentioned electrolytes. Okay. I think we do talk about electrolytes a lot, but we may not have mentioned it as far as constipation or loose stools, which is what we talked about there. You're looking for a new one to try, and you've been using Noons. I'm not familiar with that. I use Element, and I know Bonnie had mentioned to me that she mentioned it to you as well. So thank you, Bonnie, for providing the link to Deanne. And Deanne, again, how do you know if you have leaky gut and what's the best way to treat and prevent? There's an excellent YouTube video out there from Stan Ekberg, which we'll link in the notes. And it is, I think it's called 10 Signs That You Have Leaky Gut. And so I think watch that. I think that would be super helpful. This book is a good reference. This is William Davis, Super Gut. And this is the book. Now I got this from Amazon because I wanted to make the yogurt he recommends that helps heal the gut. And it's just been so busy, I haven't made it yet. So but I do recommend the book. He is the gut go-to guy for these things to heal your gut. So if you don't have that book, try to get it from the library or check out Amazon and take a look there. Okay, let's see. What to do about leg cramps? I get them at bedtime and can't sleep because I'm so uncomfortable. And you're also wondering about the leaky gut. So we address the leaky gut. Leg cramps. I take a pack of Element a day. It deals with my leg cramps. There's other solutions too. Other people use a magnesium glycinate at night to help them not get leg cramps. The other thing what I keep on my bedside table is a bottle of magnesium spray. And if I do wake up with something, like say, because sometimes I get so busy I forget to take my supplements. If I wake up with a leg cramp, I spray that on, and it literally gets rid of it in about 30 seconds. So it's a really good product. I do have it in my Amazon storefront. But it's just called magnesium spray, and I think there's different brands out there. So check that out, and obviously take some electrolytes if you're able to. Rosa, hello everyone. This is my first live. Sending greetings from Puerto Rico. Hi, welcome. Your first live ever, or just with me? If it's your first live ever, thank you for coming. I'm so glad you made it here. Uh, s- Question from Sharon: has anyone heard of Farm Girl and tried their flowers? I am sorry, I have not. I don't know anything about it, and maybe someone else can answer that. Llewellyn P. Your skin looks great. Must be that carnivore effect. Yes, I hope so. My skin has been, an issue. I went dairy free because of rosacea, and it's definitely helped. And so I'm trying to limit my dairy to just once in a while treat. But definitely all the processed foods being out, no, pretty much anything other than meat. I can eat meat and eggs and just feel really good. Deborah, Anita, I appreciated your modified exercise video about squats. It inspired me to get started doing the same. I am so glad. It was a little embarrassing to do my modified chair squat, but I have the injured knee, and so I had to do it that way. And I thought, there must be other ladies my age out there who are suffering with knee issues, and I'm now actually this month I am dispensing with the chair and just doing a normal squat, holding some weights, but I do have to be very careful. So I'm doing a lot less. Last month I was doing that squat challenge of 100 a day. Not this month. I'm not doing that many, but I'm still doing them. So I'm glad you enjoyed that. Leslie Bates 22, first time to a live here, but I have been watching a lot of your videos. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Nice to have you here. Okay, so don't forget to put tallow, those of you out there. So Debbie Claire, I have major hair loss. You found 120 grams protein was good. Obviously, I need more. So I went through a long period of time where I was doing less than 100 grams of protein a day. I was, when I was doing high fat carnivore, I was probably doing about 75, and I was struggling with some hair issues for sure. Like it was coming out in the shower. I would stick it up on the shower wall so that it wouldn't go down and clog my drain issues, which I already, have drain. I don't want to talk about that. Anyways, so yeah, I am not having that problem anymore. Now, hair loss can be normal and cyclical, and so sometimes you will go through those periods, and any diet change too. So if you are newly carnivore or newly keto, you could have that same effect. So, don't think that just because you have hair loss, it means you're not eating enough protein. That may not be the case at all. But for me, I think I know I wasn't eating enough protein. My nails are now rock hard solid. I think I need to go and get somebody to do something with them. They used to just never be there, and now I have nails to deal with. So, which is good. It's good. I feel like it's a good thing. So you can try tweaking your protein up and seeing, but 100, if you're doing 120, that's pretty good too. Squeaky Toy 59. Oh, thank you for the super chat. We try to have beef liver once a week. How do you make it taste decent? Any spices? Okay, so it's funny. I was just talking about liver with the moderators before we came on live. And I don't know if this is going to shock anybody, but I really like my beef liver cooked medium rare. I also, I used to cook it with onions and bacon, because that really adds, those caramelized onions, that really adds to the flavor and the bacon. But I don't, I can just put a slab on, turn it over, cook it, but it has to be pink inside or it's shoe leather, basically, to me. And I love it that way. It is so tender and good. And so that's how I make it taste decent to me. Now, that might scare some of you out there. Redmond salt is pretty much all I use on anything these days. So maybe some of the others have some ideas for you that are not quite as extreme as mine. But yeah, I kind of love liver. Okay. Oh, Jill D, who is your favorite carnivore inspiration? That is so hard. I mean, there's all the doctors, the Dr. Barry, Dr. Chafee, Dr. Boz. Well, she's keto. But there's all kinds of doctors out there that I really like. But I really love Kelly Hogan. I do her coaching group, her group coaching, because she's just such a joy and a warm person. I laugh, for 30 minutes while she's talking, or it's an hour. She's so funny, and I get a lot of inspiration from her. I'm trying to think of who else that I love Lily Kane. She's such a bubbly personality. I think she's great. Steak and Butter Gal. I like her too. And yeah, I probably left somebody out because I just can't think, on my feet so much when I'm trying to remember people's names, videos that I watch, people that I follow. I follow a lot of people, so I like a lot of people. And yeah, but Kelly stands out for me because she was the first carnivore that I ever met, like the first female carnivore that I ever met. Or I didn't meet her in person, but like just that I knew about. Like she was the first one I came across, and so she's special to me, I guess. And she's special anyways. Okay, my 1984 is now. My choice weight is 190. I'm probably never 100 over that. I'm failing on carnivore so far. You're in a wheelchair. I'm meant to be eating 190 a day. No, not necessarily. See, I'm trying to, like, my goal weight is 150 and I've chosen 150, but I'm actively, like, I'm doing a lot of exercise. I'm trying to build more muscle. So I like base it on your ideal weight if you're sedentary. That said, you may not have to be sedentary in a wheelchair. There are actually YouTube videos out there for chair exercises, and I would definitely encourage that, when and if you're ever able to do that. That would help. But no, you don't have to. If your current goal weight is 190, and that's well over where you want to be eventually, or where your lean body mass is and your ideal body weight, you don't have to be eating 190 a day. No. It's the number is not carved in stone or based on anything, but you just need a number sometimes to start. You just start with a number. I don't know what you're having now, so it would be helpful to maybe track for a couple of weeks, find out where you are now, and try to increase it just a little bit. That video that we have linked from the Dr. Eads interview, they basically said, whatever you're having now, it probably isn't enough, especially if you're older. And I don't know how old you are either, but I know how old I am, and I'm pretty sure I was not having enough. Kel, how has your new smoker been going? I love my new smoker. I need to start doing some recipes on it, but my problem is we're in rainy season now, so it's hard to film outside with rain happening. So I'm trying to figure out a way, like getting a cover, like not a gazebo, but some kind of a cover that I can work under. It's very difficult in the rainy, temperate forest that I live in. So, but I love it. I absolutely love it. Okay. Okay, Darlene. Oh, Delane, not Darlene. Sorry, Delane Daughtery. Have you heard of Dr. Tommy John? Helping folks heal from injuries without surgery. Best of luck. I have not. So, making a note right now to take a look. Thank you. Annie. Hi from Quebec. First time live, but been following you for 2 years now. Oh, love you. Thank you so much, Annie. That first time live and live for me, so that is so nice. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it very much. Hi, Regina. How are you? Do you think doing 2 protein shakes a day is too much, as in liquid nutrition versus food? Well, I think it depends on your circumstances. Of course, meat is, solid meat is a very good option and probably the best option, but I get that not everybody can get there. And even in that Dr. Eads video that I've already mentioned, they talk about protein shakes as being an option for people who are either too busy to, have enough meals to make their protein goal, or who just can't get that much in, especially some people who are older. I'm thinking about people, like my mom when she was still alive. Like, just, it was so hard to get protein in that woman, let me tell you, because she wanted to eat fruit and yogurt all day long. She wanted to eat little fruit cups. It was so hard to get protein in her, and a protein shake or something like that, was the only good solution for someone like that. So it really depends on the circumstances. Yes, I think meat is the best option, but yes, I also understand that not everybody can do that. So, but I don't see anything wrong with making some of your protein come from a protein shake. Just make sure it's a good quality one, read the ingredients, and, obviously no sugar and that sort of thing. Cindy, tallow. I sort of caught that. Couldn't watch from beginning. Can't get decent beef liver here. It's all frozen and just falls apart to try to get out of the package. Oh, that's too bad. Usually the beef liver that I get is, even from the supermarket, is not frozen. It's fresh. I don't know where you live, but a butcher store, might be a good way to go if you're able to get to a butcher store. Kathy, hi there. Always good to see your videos. I too saw the Dr. Eads video and have upped my protein, and I love tallow almost as much as butter. You continue to inspire me. Thank you. Oh, I'm glad you saw that video. Wasn't it great? Now, they did do a follow-up video apparently a couple of days after that I haven't seen yet, and so I'm going to seek that out this week and watch that as well. And yeah, I'm using more tallow and less butter. I didn't realize that some people consider butter to be dairy, and so I'm just trying to cut back on it just to see, how I react. I'll never stop loving it, that's for sure. Former fat girl, hi Nicole, how are you? I'm glad you're here catching this live stream. Thank you for coming. Ginger Cameron, Ford Crouch. That's a mouthful. Yes, thanks. I love being here. Anita is so sweet. Oh, thank you. Not always. Not always. You love my recipes. Thank you for trying them out. I'm trying to figure out what to do with my lifestyle of eating after I get off my detox cleanse/fast. Whatever you do, start slowly, because if you're on some kind of a detox cleanse fast, that's like, don't don't eat all the meat at once. Try to acclimatize your body slowly back into real food, but stick to whole foods. You can't go wrong with whole foods, and you know, the more meat the better, as you know, from what I see. Deely, do you have a scale that measures body fat and muscle? I do. Now, some people say they're not accurate, but I feel like at least you can map a trend. You know, you can see, like, even if it's not the number, over the course of 2-3 months, you can see if your body fat is going up or if it's going down, you know, your composition, you can see those things. And so I like it. I like it for that. I have a Withings, WITHINGS, the body cardio scale. I have just purchased another one because I wanted to track visceral fat, and so I found one that tracks visceral fat, and that is the fat around your organs. So I have literally just unboxed it and don't know anything yet. I will show, like, once I know how to use it and have used it for a little while to see how I like it, I will share that with you guys, what I think and all that other stuff. Okay, Claudia, I'm healing from injuries or skin conditions. Is it preferable to prioritize fat or protein? You know, I think protein, but don't minimize the fat because you need both. I don't know what kind of injuries or skin conditions, but you know, fat also has very healing powers, and a lot of people go high fat carnivore in order to boost their ketones, lower their blood glucose, which gives you a higher GKI, which is supposed to be good for healing. So, you know, I just make sure you're getting enough of both of those nutrients. They are both important. The only thing I would say to get rid of are carbs or anything processed. Those are the things that are not conducive to healing. But both fat and protein are. So, you know, I don't know what you're doing now, whether you're carnivore or keto, but I would definitely try super clean, you know, for healing, super clean. And even fasting is good for healing. A lot of people, when they get sick, they fast, you know, to cleanse. But, you know, like I said, I don't really know anything about your injuries or your skin condition that you've mentioned. But yeah, make sure you're getting good fat and lots of good protein. Oh, hello, Anna Maria. Anna Maria, I just love you. Late to the party, but I just had to come. Oh, thank you. Thank you. If you guys haven't seen my interview with Anna Maria, who lost 188 pounds, please check that out. It's probably my favorite interview I've ever done. So I just, I still think about it. I still think about it, and every now and then I watch it again. So glad you're here, Anna Maria. Shelly Rocks, I'm fairly new to your channel. I found you while searching for brown butter bites. Love your whipped recipe. Have you ever added keto chow to them? Yes, I have. So I don't do sweeteners now, but back then, a year ago, when I was, you know, still doing sweeteners, I certainly added the keto chow to my brown butter bites, and there is a recipe for them on my blog, on my website, where I did actually use the keto chow to make some Halloween treats last Halloween. So that's about the time I started cutting back on my sweeteners. But last Halloween, to get through Halloween, I made keto chow brown butter bites. They were so good. But yeah, enjoy. Okay. Oh, I don't think I was supposed to put that one up. Does anyone have any problems sleeping the first week I go to sleep really easily and now I can't. Leslie Bates. The first week of, like, are you 1 week into keto or carnivore? Is that what you mean? Maybe you could come back and clarify that, just so we know what we're talking about. But I will say that sleep is so important, and it is something that I have struggled with over the years as well. And I feel like diet changes, like if you're new to something, you might have some sleep disruption at first during your adaptation period. But yeah, so if you could, just clarify that's what you mean, and with, you know, and maybe come back with a follow up. Bobby, thanks for being such a bright light for so many. Is it possible that I couldn't be not losing weight because I'm not getting enough protein? That is so hard to say. But what I like to do is tweak. I like to change things up if I'm not getting the results. Now, I'm not talking about jumping from one thing to another. I'm talking about I've given it the old college try for, months and stayed the same. Maybe it's time for some metabolic confusion. Maybe it's time to, tweak my macros to something else. So, metabolic confusion can be things like even just changing your fasting window. Maybe if you're doing 1 meal a day, try doing 2 or 3 meals a day for a couple of weeks, or try narrowing the window or enlarging the window. Like, just do something different from what you're doing every day. I know that some people have the exact same schedule every single day, and sometimes changing it will, your body will, it'll trick your body into thinking, okay, something's going on here. I need to do something. Something like a sardine challenge or an egg fast or a fat fast day. Those are all examples of metabolic confusion. There's something that you can do for a day or 2 days. They're not a lifestyle. They're just a day or two just to shake up your metabolism. Dr. Boz, got me on to doing 3-day sardine challenges for metabolic boost, and boy did that ever give me a metabolic boost. So could do for you as well. But it's hard to know, so in the links, there's a link for what's called a TDEE, total daily energy expenditure. And so that gives you an idea of where you might want to, take a look at what your daily expenditure is and see where that fits in with what you're doing now. And so between that and then also calculating your ideal body weight to figure out your protein, or even just use your goal weight, then you can work backwards from there to figure out, fat and carbs if you're eating any carbs. But change something if what you've been doing for a long time isn't working for you, then there's nothing wrong with tweaking those macros a little bit. So, but try the new macros for, say, a month before you say, okay, that's not working. So what some people do is that they just change too quickly. Ivy Dixon, do you take iodine? Is it necessary, and which one is best? So I have in the past taken iodine. I was taking it regularly. Every day I was taking 4 drops of Lugol's, 2%, I think it was. So I was taking it because I didn't really think I had any sources of iron, because I don't use the iodized salt or anything like that. So I don't take it as regularly now. I just randomly, if I see the bottle, I'll put a couple of drops in my tea or whatever. And the reason that I don't take as much now is that I eat seafood almost every day for one of my meals. So I'm eating sardines, cod livers, salmon, and shrimp. Those 4 are my favorites. And not a day goes by that I don't have one of those 4 things in one of my meals. And so I feel like I'm getting enough iodine now because of that, because seafood is high in iodine. So there's a video out there that Dr. Barry did about, why you should take iodine. And if you can find that video, I think it's a couple years old, but I watched that video, and I felt it gave a good explanation. So take a look for that to decide. I can't tell if it's necessary for you or not, but he goes over some of the things that that you can look for to figure out if it is. Mary, how do I up my protein without it turning to glucose? How do you know it's turning to glucose? Like I haven't had an issue since I've upped my protein. I'm staying in ketosis. I'm losing weight. I don't know. Have you measured maybe measure and just see what's happening I'm sorry, I don't have an answer for you. I'm not convinced that it is turning to glucose. So it's not something I'm worried about for myself. I'm feeling good, Lisa C, with higher protein. I'm not testing every single morning. I'm testing randomly. I seem to be staying in ketosis. My blood sugar is good. So I'm feeling great. I'm feeling great. Patricia Johnson Platt, you look great. Are you still trying to lose more weight? Yes, I am. I am still overweight. In fact, my BMI, they're calling me obese, and that just irks me to no end. So I want to at least just get down to the overweight category rather than the obese category. I'm not far. Like I think if I lost 5 pounds, that would slip me under that obese category. So yes, I am still trying to lose more weight. I am not at my goal weight yet. Deely, are both of your scales the same brand? Will you please repeat the brand again? Okay, so the one I have is called Withings. It's Withings. That's the one I've been using for a while. It is the Body Cardio Scale. The new one that I bought is a different brand, and it's one of those ones where you hold, the electrodes up, and yeah. I don't know if it's going to be any better. We will see. So I think that I'm going to check on the giveaway. I want to see how many are doing. Let me see if I can share this without messing it up. Oh, I don't know if I did that. So there's 118 entries in here. And I'm going to remove that. I don't think I did that right. But I'm hoping to get it right before we actually run the draw, which is going to be in a few minutes' time. So if you have not yet entered the draw, put in tallow. It is a jar of Carnivore Crisp grass-fed beef butter, which is basically tallow. So that's going to come up in about 5 minutes. And I also want to throw a reminder out there. If Dora Sandgren is in the house, you won the box of Element last week, but I don't know where to send it. If you could email me at ketogenicwoman@gmail.com with your address. I promise I won't send anything spammy to you. I just will send you this. No, not that. I will send you this. This is what you won last week. So, yes, I'd like to give it to you. So there we go. Okay, so I do have time for a couple more questions before we run out, but I'm going to go back into the regular chat while I'm waiting and say hi to some people. Mike Shaw says he wants some spam with his tallow. That sounds good, doesn't it? Fry those babies up. That sounds amazing. Steph, it is so cool that you do live giveaways each week. Yeah, I try to do them, so I don't usually do them if there's a guest because I want to focus on the guest. But, if it's just me talking, I want to give stuff away as well. Okay, yes, okay, thank you, Jazzy Mama. BMI doesn't account for body composition. According to BMI, the entire NFL and The Rock are obese. Ignore it. Yeah, I get that. Thank you for reminding me of that so that I can, still have my head held high. Okay, let's see. Bonnie. Okay. Oh, yes. Oh, Bonnie, I didn't really mean to put this up there, but now I see your comment about Dr. Don Layman. Yes, if you guys can find Dr. Don Layman out there, he is a great person to follow. Okay. He is the protein person. So, Ellen Canada, I know you are using Redmond salt. What do you think about Costco pink salt? Is it okay to use? I don't really know anything about it. I like using Redmond's because I like the idea that it comes from the salt caves that are in Utah, which I saw in April. I drove to Texas for KetoCon, went through Utah, and stopped at the Redmond store. So because the Redmond salt comes from those caves, it doesn't have the microplastics of the sea salt that comes from the ocean. That is my thinking. So yeah, I don't have anything other than that. I don't know anything about the Costco salt. I'm sorry, I don't know where it comes from. Kathy, thank you. I love you. I know. Thank you so much for saying that. Okay. Just Jason Keto, thank you for coming, first of all, and thank you for this great explanation. I can't think of these things when I'm talking live because, my brain is in overdrive. So, gluco, see if I can pronounce it, first of all. Gluconeogenesis. Yay. The conversion of protein to glucose is a demand-driven process. Your body will only convert as much as it needs. Thank you for that. Love that explanation. Squeaky Toy 99. I've heard that a tablespoon of butter before bed can help with sleep. Yes, I have done that, and it did help me with my sleep. So if you are having some trouble with sleep, that's a good thing to try. All right. Susan K, also your first live. Thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate it. Aunt G. Kuhn, I'm sorry, I probably mispronounced your name. If you take iodine, the rule is 2 weeks on, then 2 weeks off to avoid overdosing. Okay. I have not heard that before. But, I think that is probably a very safe thing to do. Okay. Anna Maria, how are you doing post knee surgery? Darlene is asking, and I think she is working on her physical therapy exercises. So I was happy to see her back, leaving comments and things. Wonderful. Okay. There's the calculation for TDEE. Thank you very much, Melissa, for putting that up. 1984 is doing oxtail tonight and then doing a 72-hour sardine challenge. Good for you. Good for you. I love that. Let me see if any new questions came up. Last week you mentioned sleep. Do you have any tips for better sleep? Yes, I do. So the castor oil pack that I mentioned at the beginning of the show tonight definitely is something. I always get a really good deep sleep score. The other thing is blue blockers in the evening. I should have had them with me, but I don't. I keep them on my bedside table. So in the night, sometimes I get up to go to the bathroom, or because I hear a noise, or Teddy needs to go outside. I don't go out and look at lights. I put my blue blockers on so that if I have to walk through the bathroom or the kitchen or whatever, I go right back to sleep after that. Because typically if I wake up during the night and I do not have, like, I just look at light, I have trouble falling back to sleep. It's always been a real problem. Oh, and they magically appeared. Here they are. There. They fit right over my eyeglasses. So that's one thing. The other thing is enough fat. Enough fat. Like if you're the bedtime butter that was just mentioned a few minutes ago, that was something I used that also would help me sleep. Magnesium in the evening before bed is another thing that can be sleep inducing. Taking an Epsom salt bath, sleep inducing. If you don't have a bathtub, put a bunch of Epsom salt in a tub with hot water and soak your feet, because it'll go in. It'll absorb through your skin and you will have a better sleep. Did I say increase your fat a bit? Yeah, there's different things. Getting the proper morning light into your eyes, like getting out for a morning walk, and trying to get out in the evening before sunset to look at the sky. I know it sounds weird, but it's something that can anchor your circadian rhythm. All of these things can help with sleep. Can you show the book again? I'm assuming this is the only book I showed. So Super Gut, William Davis. He is the gut guy, and he has a recipe in here for yogurt that is supposed to be really good to heal your gut. Okay. Beach Bum has a stomach ulcer. Oh, I'm so sorry. And heartburn. You get heartburn. On BBBE, will it ever get better? Yeah, I don't, if you have that stomach ulcer, yeah, I don't know. Maybe try a prebiotic, something that will help digest the fat. That might be helpful. I used apple cider vinegar, 1 tablespoon diluted in a big thing of water to reduce, to get off my meds. I was on meds for 15 years for acid reflux, and I no longer am on those. But the apple cider vinegar, I'd have that drink a couple of times a day, and that would help with that. So there's a couple things you can try. Sarah, how do you manage your time and get so much done and deal with stress? You did, yeah, thank you. I do get stressed, and stress comes out in different ways for different people. But I'm generally an optimistic person, and I find that if I put a smile on my face and just deal with things, that sometimes the rest of me catches up. And that's kind of how I deal with it. I also have to say that if you have a lot of stress and you're eating processed foods or sugar, though it doesn't help. I know that one of my go-tos used to be, I'm stressed, I need to eat such and such. And on the surface you think it's going to help relieve the stress, but it doesn't. It actually makes things worse. And so that is one of the best gifts you can give yourself is to, you know, be totally clean. As clean as you possibly can be will help with stress. Carrot Caden, no butter for sleep. Made me gain 10 pounds. I was just having a tablespoon of butter. So that's 100 calories. You know, did not make me gain 20 pounds, but, you know, if that's what it did for you, yeah, I probably would have stopped that maybe, you know, sooner. But, my other suggestions, I did already give a few other suggestions. So, hope that helps. And I'm sorry that happened to you. What's the name of the book you showed earlier? Oh, I just answered that. Shidling. I enjoy your videos so much and have learned much from you. I'm basically doing Carnivore, and I'm wondering if anyone else has trouble with constipation. It's become a problem for me. So, I don't know if you came late, but in the beginning of the video, I talked about 2 things that help with constipation. One being the castor oil pack and the other being the lymphatic drainage. Both of those have been excellent for me for constipation. There's also some videos that I linked below from Dr. Chafee, and I think there might be one from, I can't remember who else. But I have linked some resources down below. Doing a 1-day fat fast also is something that has helped me, and I have linked those videos below for the fat fast. So yeah, try that. Okay, so we are 1 minute over time. Let's do that giveaway. So I'm just going to get the screen up, and oh, 150 in the draw. Let's do the draw. Judy B. Light is the winner. So, congratulations, Judy B. Light. If you could email me at ketogenicwoman@gmail.com with your address, this grass-fed beef butter will be on its way to you. And I hope you enjoy it as much as I do. You know, I've made whipped tallow with it. I fry things with it. All kinds of things. It's very useful. So I want to thank you guys. I'm sorry I did go over a couple minutes late. But there you have it. Thank you so much for coming and spending part of your Sunday night with me. Thank you, Melissa and Bonnie, for your excellent moderating again tonight. I can't thank you two enough. And I think that, you know, we are going to sign off now. And you guys enjoy the rest of your Sunday. And I hope that you come back next Sunday for the next live. And to check out some of my other upcoming videos. So good night, all. We'll see you guys. Love you all.